Today we will discuss two transactions for a lemonade stand. Transaction number 4. Your company paid €5,500 in cash to the logistics company Duxer for shipping 50 tons of lemon from Lachlan Valley in Granada to your process factory in the Fresh Park, Venlo. Since this is a quite straightforward transaction and it's only in cash, we only have to focus on the asset part, only on the cash part. Since there's nothing changed in the inventories, nothing changed from account receivable or prepaid expenses or all that. And nothing changed for the long term, since this is a quite short term, straightforward transaction. So we have to subtract €5,500 cash from the cash part, which leaves us to the new total of €584,500. So, since nothing will change underneath except for the total assets will change from €3,159,000 to €3,153,500. So we retracted the money that we paid cash to the logistics. And then for the equity part, since the total assets and the total liabilities and equity needs to be the same at all times. So what does that mean? There will nothing be changed in the liabilities, since we haven't borrowed money from anyone or whatsoever in this transaction. In this specific transaction, we only have to focus on the accumulated retained earnings. So we have to retract €5,500 cash from the accumulated returned earnings, which leaves us to this new number of €684,500. So the total equity will change as well. That leaves us to €2,184,000 and €500. So with all these numbers change, you see that nothing major has changed to the long-term tangible or intangible costs or the liability, since we don't have anything to do with it right now. This is a pretty straightforward transaction. So as you can see here, the income statement has nothing to do with anything with this exact transaction, since it will only focus on the investing activities, which is minus €5,500, because this is more of a activity like transport or logistics. It's an investment to the company. So that leaves us to a net cash flow of minus €5,500. This is transaction number 4. So that will be the same with the cash. The amount will be €2,200,500. So that leaves us to the new number of €307,500, which leaves us to the total asset of €3,189,000. This is our new total asset. So what does that mean for the equity? Here again, we don't have anything to do with liabilities, since we don't borrow money or anything like that. This is also not a very long-term transaction, so it has nothing to do with property and equipment or equity and other investments. So that leaves us to the accumulated retained earnings, since this is actually something we sold, that we made. So that leaves us to a net profit of €30,000. So this goes up, the accumulated retained earnings goes up with €720,000, and the total equity goes up as well. It goes up by $2,220,000. So here again, it goes up, and then we come to the conclusion that the total liabilities and equity will be the same as the total asset. It always needs to be the same. So this will be 3,189,000 as well. So as you can see here, we have a income statement, because with this transaction we actually sold something, so it has something to do with our income. The revenue was 45,000. That is something we already that we got from over time. But of course we also put money in our inventory, like we have to make the lemonade and the production of it, and the whole inventory was worth 15,000. So that means our net profit will be 30,000 euros. What does that mean for the cash flow statement? Well, since this has to do with the income statement and with the shop, it actually falls under operating activities. So it goes up by 30,000 euros, which means the net cash flow will go up with 30,000 euros as well, just like the net profit.